everybody, happy Talk to Me Tuesday. Please forgive my appearance. It's a long story, but in a nutshell, we started our Beowulf unit today. So I wanted to dress up for my students to give them a visual and to get them maybe excited, because I know some of them are probably not super excited about Beowulf. So I took most of it off. I had this around my waist because I don't have any kind of proper waist thing. And so I took it off like the second I got home because I was really hot and tired. So had more or less like this, and my shawl. And I argued that I was kind of an amalgamation of Anglo-Saxon and ancient Celt because the Anglo-Saxons came and conquered the Celts. So that was my look today, and I'm really hot and disgusting, and it's unfortunate, but oh well. It was funny. They were not entirely sure how to react, which, I mean, is not a terrible way to go about teaching. Honestly, there are worse ways. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So this weekend past, I went to DragonCon for the first time, which was crazy. If you're not familiar, DragonCon is this huge fan convention. It's anime, comic books, TV shows, movies. Oh God. I mean, the biggest fandoms this year were probably Star Wars, Suicide Squad, and Stranger Things, I think. And Game of Thrones, a ton of Game of Thrones. So it was very cool. I mean, it was a neat thing. It was weird going by myself, but I stayed with family right outside of Atlanta, and I dressed up every day. So I'll put pictures in the LJ entry, like below the video, if you want to see what I wore. I think, let's see, I made probably about 80% of my costumes. Some of the pieces I made, and some of them I Goodwilled. So anyway, that was my big craft thing. In order to get ready for DragonCon, I did do a semi-big craft, and it just fell on the floor. So here it is. Okay. So the reason why I decided to go to DragonCon this year, for the first time, was I had submitted a paper to present as part of their CPAC programming, which is their academic presentations as opposed to fan panels. And it was based on a paper that I wrote back in college about Pride and Prejudice and zombies, and is it an effective parody of the original, or is it just, ridiculous and random and serves no purpose except to be weird. And it was accepted. So I presented that panel, and I decided that I needed to have a Elizabeth Bennet zombie hunter outfit. Well, I already had my Regency dress that I made a couple of years ago. I took the reticule that Alia made me a couple of years ago, and my bonnet, but I didn't want to necessarily bloody up that dress. So I decided, well, let me make an apron, and then I can just make that all gory, and then I can smear some blood on my face, and it'll be whatever, it'll be fine. So first I had to make the apron because I didn't really necessarily want to buy a modern apron and make it bloody. I wanted it to at least be somewhat period. So this is the apron that I made. It's got this part here that probably should have been about that wide, right? I've actually got it pinned. It's a little too wide, and ties around the waist. It's actually a very effective apron. It's kind of like a chef's apron. It's thick, and I honestly will probably use it in my kitchen because why not? I mean, it can't get dirtier. It's covered in fake blood. So basically, one night I made this apron, and as soon as I was done with it, I took it outside, stretched it out on a tarp, and just went to town with fake blood, and I think it looks pretty effective. Definitely got the most comments from this costume, even though I don't think it was my best one. I thought my Bellatrix was pretty on point, but I guess there were too many other Bellatrixes, and I'm a very tiny Bellatrix, and I guess it's not very scary. But yeah, a couple people stopped me, and they're like, "You got a little something on your dress there." I'm like, "Oh, do I? Okay." So that was my big craft. So like 2 weekends past, I went to Joann's. Had a couple coupons, which is really nice. So I needed to get fabric for that, but then I also, my niece, so I have 5 nieces and nephews, and my oldest niece is a senior in high school this year, and I'm gonna make her a quilt for her dorm for when she goes off to college. It's gonna be my big project. I want to try to do that for each of the kids, kind of stealing off Jen's wonderful parenting skills. But so she texted me, and she adopted some sugar gliders a couple months ago. You'll have to look them up if you don't know what they look like. They're kind of like tiny squirrel mice. I don't know. They're cute. They're weird. Whatever. And she actually texted me and asked me if I would make her a cage set. So like picture kind of the sort of things you would put inside a ferret cage, like hammocks and things for them to climb on. And so I went to Joann's and was there forever, and she, oh my gosh, Mary Bell's on the floor playing with a fabric mouse. Finally got out of her that she wanted gray, and sent her a bunch of pictures, and it was an ordeal, but she settled on this fleece. So it's a no-pill fleece. It's really soft. So this will be part of it, and then the other side will just be white. So I need to work on those. I'll work on those this weekend. I won't have time this week. Back to school and teaching. So I need to do that. So I mean, if anybody has like made cage sets before and has like any tutorials they've used, I would be happy to look at those. I've just been looking on Pinterest. It looks like it's all pretty basic, and I found some lanyard hooks that you attach to what you made so that it hooks onto the thin bars of their cage. Like that's how it stays in there. So hopefully that works, and hopefully next Tuesday I'll have at least one hammock to show. I don't know. Trying to think. Gosh, I mean, going to DragonCon made me just think of all the crafts and costumes that I want to make. I really need to make a McGonagall wand, because one of my costumes, oh my God, I feel like the cats are going to tear the house down behind me. One of the costumes that I did was a recent Hogwarts graduate, McGonagall, trooping the Highlands, studying wizarding anthropology after graduation. Random, I know. But the wand that I brought with me was my Bellatrix wand, so it felt very weird to wear my Bellatrix wand. And McGonagall's wand's actually not that like crazy looking, so I'm thinking, I don't know, I need to maybe try to make that, or find somebody that I can do a trade with, and maybe they can make it and I can make something for them. And they're just such cool costumes. I just want to make all the costumes, like every costume. Like I need to make an elf costume now, and I think that if I make an elf dress that is in the style of the Middle Ages, which, I mean, it basically is, but do it more historically Middle Ages accurate, that I can use it for my Canterbury Tales unit, because I've clearly set a very unhealthy precedent for dressing up at the beginning of units, and we're doing Canterbury Tales after Thanksgiving. So, we'll see. So that's it. So I'm going to go. I'm going to try to catch everybody's videos. I'm off to choir tonight. It's our first choir rehearsal for our new holiday season, and it's going to be lovely. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.